So I ask you again, based on what I've shared now, do you want to be happy? And you may answer something publicly now, right? Yeah, we all want to be happy. But what if you asked yourself that privately? Do you want to be happy? And I'm not talking about a dependent happiness. I'm talking about a different order of happiness, an independent happiness. That whether it's sunny outside or raining or snowing. Now, many of you, if you're in your first year and you haven't lived in the Northeast, welcome. We have a term called SAD here, seasonal affective disorder. When there's not enough sun, people get shaken by that. You have to buy those artificial lights and keep them in your room. That's a dependent happiness. Do you want to be independently happy? And if we think about this and are honest about this, most of our answers will be no. We just want more. We want more money, more comfort, more popularity, more marks, more free time, just more. So it's still a level of dependency, but just less dependency. I don't want to be completely independent. I observe that a lot in relationships. We have to talk to each other every night. Who are you spending your time with? You know, when people pronounce, I'm a jealous boyfriend or a jealous girlfriend, and they say with such conviction, that means I care more. That means there's a level of insecurity. That's like a Bollywood movie about to develop. Independence. I was teaching a class in Buffalo, and after I was teaching one day, a lady asked to speak to me privately. So we sat in the kitchen as people were leaving. And I said, so what's on your mind? And she says, Vivekji, I'm happy. Do I still need to come to this class? Very respectfully, she had said that. And I said, if you're happy because of your health, your family, and your wealth, then you still need to come to class. Because how stable will your health and family and wealth be? But if you're happy despite your health, family, and wealth, then you don't need to come to class. Because you are what this science is teaching. That was 8 years ago. She still comes to class. Because she was honest enough to know that her idea of happiness is dependent. In another place, it was the fourth evening of the discourse series, Freedom Through Relationships, chapter 13 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And I felt everyone was relatively inspired, so I said, how many of you want to be and are going to be enlightened in this lifetime? One man makes direct eye contact with me, hand up and back. Looks around, no one else had their hand up, so he put his hand down. See, even for that person only wants to be enlightened if everyone else is coming. But if no one else is coming, I don't want to go then. So we don't have that appreciation for what happiness is. Now happiness is a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Or if you've observed, what was Coca-Cola's original slogan? Can't beat the real thing. Back in the day, that's what it was. Now what is it? Open happiness. All of a sudden, happiness is manufactured in Atlanta. Right? Everyone should move over there. Independence. With this in mind, people who focus on wanting to be happy rather than needing to be happy, people who focus on a dependent happiness rather than an independent happiness, those people follow the path of spirituality. And I should have asked you this in the beginning. I'll ask you now. You have 3 choices. Option number 1, are you a religious person? Option number 2, are you a spiritual person? Option number 3, Are you confused? Are you religious? Are you spiritual? Are you confused? Are you a religious person? And the hands are going up like this, you know, like, my hand's up in my pocket right now. And some people are like Indian style, you know, do you want chai? Want chai? They're like, the hands are going like this. Are you a spiritual person? Are you confused? Okay. Spirituality is the study of the spirit. Like chemistry is the study of chemicals, and physics is the study of nature, nature's laws, spirituality is the study of the spirit. Now, most people don't know what the spirit is. All they know is the spirit is something more. They don't know what it is, but they know it's more than whatever they're experiencing right now. That's why the tendency is to say, I'm spiritual. I don't know what spirituality is. I don't know what the spirit is, but it seems like this is the right path, or this is the right choice. And those people who do know what the spirit is, they only know that intellectually. They can define the spirit, they can quote the spirit, but it's just intellectual. Our society, part of it is the fault of our parents, part of it is the fault of our education system. We have become highly intellectual people. That sense of feeling is lost. Even when we listen to music now, we don't feel that music. We don't feel food anymore. Fast food is a contemporary concept. You rewind 50 years ago, what fast food? 100 years ago, they'd hit you if you said you want a quick meal, right? Sit down, prepare the food, feel it, eat it, clean up after it. We're living so much by our heads and not by our hearts. So we know what the spirit is, but intellectually. And this leads me to what a typical teacher is. Typical teacher, okay? I'm not personally taking on any teacher. A typical teacher. A typical teacher is paid to say what they do. They don't have to believe what they say. They simply have to say it. I'll give you an example of this. My wife and I are in a lot of public areas like this. And we had taken an emergency first aid, CPR, AED training because if something happens, we want to be able to help out. Not that anyone remembers it after the training, right? How many times do I do the compressions? So this gentleman is talking about heart disease, our trainer. Stress causes heart disease. Alcohol causes heart disease. Stress causes heart disease. I already said that. Smoking causes heart disease. And he's saying it, with such intensity. And then there are long training sessions. So there's breaks. After this 2-hour period, my wife and I go for a quick walk outside, and this man is outside too. And what is he doing outside? Happily enjoying that cigarette, 2 minutes ago he said this is going to cause heart disease, but here he is, smoking away. He's paid to say those words. He intellectually knows that smoking causes heart disease, but he doesn't feel it. He doesn't trust that message. In comparison, in Sanskrit, we do not use the word teacher, we use the word Acharya. This has nothing to do with me. That's why I said Sanskrit, not Vivek's mind. Acharya means acharati. Acharati means behavior, conduct, character. Acharya means the one who leads by example. And Acharya is someone who understands and appreciates. Morality cannot be taught, morality can only be caught. Sri Aurobindo had shared that. Morality cannot be taught, it can only be